I like that. It makes me feel very productive.
Good.
Welcome to the studio. Come on in. Welcome to the studio. If you like making things with colorful yarn and you love nature and you love to learn new things, you are in the right place. I'm Michelle.
I'm Linda, and together we are Color Me Happy Fiber Arts.
So we have a lot of things to talk about. Our table is pretty full here.
Many things.
Yeah. So what are you excited about?
I am excited about the Hoosier Hills Fiber Festival.
Yay.
Because fiber festivals, well, what's not to be excited about, right?
Yeah.
It's full of amazing things and amazing people. And, we do not live in an area where there are tons of fiber festivals all the time. So it's nice when there's one close by, like Hoosier Hills, which is just south of Indianapolis. And we're just north of Indianapolis. So that's a great, fun festival. And it is coming up Friday and Saturday, June 6th and 7th.
That's right. And it is, they have like 4 buildings.
Yeah, I think it's
pretty
about
big.
75 vendors, I think, is what I saw online.
Oh, really?
Is that right?
75?
Lots of classes and fun things. So if you are in the area, it is definitely worth stopping by.
Yeah. And I'm extra excited because Eleni and Joe are coming to town Thursday night.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, they have a wedding in town that they're
Okay.
going to. And so I'll be picking them up Thursday night. And Eleni was so bummed. She said, I thought we could hang out on Friday because they're going to be gone for the rest of the weekend doing wedding things.
Oh, well,
And
you
I
can.
said, you can if you want to drive to Franklin because that's where we'll be at the Hoosier Hills. So she's thinking about whether she could come down. So that'll be a lot of fun.
That would
if
be
she
a lot
comes.
of fun because usually you go to Maryland Sheep and Wool.
Yeah.
And since she moved, you haven't been doing that.
Right. We didn't do that this year because she is now in Brooklyn. And it seemed like we had something else going on
Was
early.
it the same week as the Ann Arbor Festival?
No, it was maybe the next weekend. It was too much traveling right in a row with the dog.
Right.
Puppy, so
Puppy, and then we did the Ann Arbor Festival, which is an earlier one than we had done before.
Yeah, so it's just too much to try to do. So it'd be fun to have her come and hang out in the booth, and then she can go shopping, or we could go shopping.
Make her work. Don't tell her that. That will disincentivize her to come.
No, I think she would like working.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think she'd like talking to people about knitting and making things. So, yeah.
What are you excited about?
Well, Eleni coming. Eleni and Joe and the Fiber Festival. I'm actually really excited too because we have really stepped up our fiber dyeing lately.
You've been doing a lot of spinning and kind of getting back
in my groove of spinning and knitting. But I'm really excited because I worked with my friend Nellie, who has, it's called Fairy Tale Fibers, and she's a spinning instructor and loves everything fiber. And she has made bats before. So I asked her if she wanted to come and collaborate with us and take our naturally dyed fiber and make some bats. And here's one of them.
They are beautiful.
It's so cool. So for those of you who don't spin, a bat is just like layers of really light fiber that we have carded together. And we've used different colors so that you can kind of see there's different greens and blues.
And the carding makes the fibers all align. That's why it kind of...
Well, not exactly. Combing makes them align more straight. The carding, they can align some, but there's some that are kind of sideways. and it makes it lighter and fluffier.
And it lets you blend different colors in.
Yeah, you can blend. So this has like browns and blues and
That's so pretty.
pinks, purples. And you can spin it in different ways. Like some people will take it and pull strips and then spin the strips. So each strip will have different colors. Some people kind of spin across the top.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you can do lots of different things.
Did you and Nellie take any video while you were making these bats?
I don't think we took video.
Oh, no.
I know.
I was anticipating, we'll cut here to a video of the process.
No, we took pictures.
I was not here. I could see the process.
We took pictures afterwards of us holding them like little babies.
Well, the next time you make.
The next time we make bats.
Because I think that would be interesting. I've only seen a little bit of it, and I'm not a spinner, but I think that would be interesting for other people to see.
It's a lot of fun. It's kind of meditative too, because you're just cranking
really
the
creative
wheel and oh, I want to add a little of this fiber and a little of that. And so that was a lot of fun. We should mention what we're wearing. These are both finished objects too.
Right.
So we'll just go to finished objects.
Okay.
What have you got?
Well, I am wearing yet another version of the It's a Spring Fling shawl. And I apologize to anyone who's tired of hearing me talk about this, but I really like this shawl, and we use it for demonstrating what you can do with minis. So in our natural dye mini skein class, there are several different ways you can do a nice fade. We have a pink version with that. You can do stripes. We have a version like that. It's just a really nice one skein shape. It's kind of a crescent shape with a picot edge. So I was interested in doing an assigned pooling project. We made those assigned pooling yarns in fingering weight this spring. And our friend did a really nice cowl pattern, the flare cowl. And so we have a sample in that. But sometimes people want a shawl and not a cowl. There are cowl people and there are shawl people. And so I decided
like today.
Yeah, like today. I thought, well, that would be fun to do a one skein shawl, and since I really like the shape, I decided to do it in this pattern, that same pattern. It's a free pattern called It's a Spring Fling, and I just did kind of this drop stitch whenever I got to the green. About every other time that I got to the green, I did the drop stitch, which makes kind of like these eyes or leaves.
I love it.
And because of the drop stitch, it really makes the shawl a nice size.
Yeah.
This is just one skein of yarn, and then it has the little picot bind off, which is
so
fun.
Cute. I love the picot.
And then another choice that I made, which I don't know that I would do again, the original pattern has little rows of eyelets every so often. And I didn't want to do eyelets because I thought that would be too busy.
Yeah, it would take away from...
So what I did was every so often I did a little row where I did, like you can see it right here. It's just a single drop stitch row.
Oh, interesting.
So I just did knit, yarn over, and then on the next row, I just dropped the yarn overs.
Okay.
To make kind of a little linear drop stitch pattern throughout the shawl. But I don't think you really notice it very much. You could do it bigger if you wanted to see it more.
Like a double?
Like a double.
You would do a double yarn
two
over.
yarn overs and then drop both of those on the next row.
Yeah, I didn't even really notice it till you said something.
You can't really see it very much. So I don't know that I would do that again. But that is what I'm wearing. And I really thought it was fun. It was very freeing because, if you don't like the placement of where the special stitch is going to be, you just skip it. It doesn't matter. Again, I was trying every other time to do one, but lots of times I did 2 in a row, or I went through 3 cycles of green without putting one in because it wasn't in the right place. And our colors, some assigned pooling yarns, it's a pretty small chunk of color. These are longer, which is nice because then it does give you a lot of opportunity to decide do I want I special stitch to start right away, or do I want to knit maybe 20 stitches and then place it a little further down? So that gives you a lot of flexibility too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. How about you? What are you
All
wearing,
right. Well, what I'm wearing and I was going to say my only finished object, but it's not my only.
Michelle?
My mostly only finished
Okay.
object is the Night and Day Cowl by Andrea Mowry. And
That is nice.
this looks more gray on the screen, but in real life it's more purpley blue. That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's kind of a slate almost.
it's a slate, yeah.
So it's that blue-gray kind of?
Yeah. And this is our new Cormo Surrey blend that we
Yeah.
did with Westfield Woolies and Heritage Farm alpacas.
Mhm.
And so it
So that's a totally local.
totally local
Farm to
Indiana
skein.
farm to
Mhm.
skein yarn. And I love how it knit up. It's just a little bit silkier than the plain Cormo.
Mhm.
Because that Surrey just
Yeah,
adds
it
a little.
definitely adds just a little bit of drape and softness for sure.
Yeah. So I really like this. I'm
Yeah.
really excited about it. And last time I was knitting on it, I was kind of ready to be done because it's the same thing, but
Mhm.
I really like how it feels and
Mhm.
looks and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice. That's a really nice pattern because there are so many different color combinations. You could easily make it anything that you like. It could be tonal, it could be variegated and a solid, just
Yeah.
lots of different things it could be.
Oh yeah, variegated squares. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And my wheels were turning about making another one, but I don't need to make another one.
Well, you don't know.
I don't know.
If the spirit moves you, you should
I
make another
could,
one.
yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that strikes me it would be really nice as a gift.
Yes.
You could make it in school colors for someone or,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not so long to make it because it uses like a DK or sport weight yarn.
Yeah, this is more of a
Sport
sport.
weight, but probably
Sport's
either
a
one.
DK.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
because it's
use.
kind of fluffy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
So
I
quick
used
to
2
do.
skeins and I had some left over of both colors.
Mhm.
So you could do a 2 skein
Yeah,
project easy
Yeah.
and have some left over.
nice.
Yeah, I like the idea of like a spirit cowl.
Yeah,
in someone's
that would be
school
fun
colors.
in school colors, right?
Yeah. Very
Maybe
cool.
there would even be enough for a little ear warmer,
I know. I don't know.
depending on how
It kind
wide
of
it was.
depends on how wide, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. My only other finished object that I have this month, I have 2 little sort of finished objects, but I don't know if you remember, one of my goals was to start using some of that spinning fiber of different breeds that I've sort of collected or been gifted over now a few years. And my goal of spinning each one, kind of reflecting and writing about what I liked about it, how it felt, those kind of things.
So you're even writing kind of about it.
Yeah.
You're gonna blog about that?
Oh, well, I was thinking I would vlog
Yeah,
about it and
Right.
put it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
like
that's
maybe,
a good idea.
I don't know if I could do it once a week.
Maybe when you get the square done.
Yeah, when I get the square done, I could come on and then tell you about the yarn and stuff. But I have my first 2 squares done, and so this one is Romney, and Romney is a long wool, but it's soft for a long wool. Long wools are usually a little bit
A little
more
more hairy.
Yeah,
That's nice.
hairy, coarse, less fine.
Yeah,
we would
that
say.
is nice.
But it is nice.
Oh yeah.
So that's a Romney, and then this is Finn, and Finn, it's like a medium wool.
Mhm.
I think it's softer.
It's a little fuzzy.
and it's fuzzier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And I like the fin a lot.
Mhm.
This one is a fleece that I bought and cleaned and then combed.
Mhm.
And then I did a 3-ply, like a chain ply.
And was it a lot different to spin than the Romney? Because the Romney's longer? Or like, how would you say they're
These
compare
were
spinning?
actually kind of similar. This was already in a combed top preparation. And I combed this and made my own comb top. So spinning wise, I think they felt pretty similar. Both were easy to do. I think this one looks more consistent in my spinning than this. So that may be partially.
Are they both 3-plies?
No, this
That's
is
a
a
2-ply,
2-ply. Partially maybe my style of spinning is not to be precise, but kind of go with the flow. So I have some thick and thin a little bit in this one.
So when you make the squares,
Mhm.
you're making them the same size, even if it's not the same number of stitches?
Well, that
Is
was
that what
the
you're kind of-
intent,
uh-huh.
but then when I started to block these yesterday,
Mhm.
the white one really wanted to be 5.5.
Oh, It really wanted to stretch out.
It really wanted to be a little bit bigger. So when I put them together, I'm going to have to figure out, I may have to add borders, maybe a little crochet edging. And maybe I'd put a crochet edging. This is already sounding like way too much work, isn't it?
But it could be fun. It just depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be fun. So I could make crochet edging and maybe do a double edging on the ones that are a little smaller so that they're all close in size.
Close, yeah.
Yeah, so they would look better as a blanket, but
Because you were thinking you would put them together for a blanket.
as a blanket.
How many different breeds are you thinking of doing?
As many as I have. And I don't even know.
But I mean, you would need a lot of squares that size to make a blanket.
Yes. Well, I have a lot of different breeds.
Okay.
Like I know you're looking
more
at
than
me funny.
20?
More than 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have more than 20 different breeds?
Yeah.
I did not. I'm not
Okay.
aware of this amount of fleece that exists. Where is it?
I haven't collected over 20 full.
Fleeces.
Oh, yeah, I probably have.
Really?
Now that I'm thinking
This
about
is
it,
like
I'm
the
like,
therapy session.
oh, I know. What's in my closet?
Yeah,
It's actually
right.
what's in my garage.
Right.
I have a lot of full fleece. These are
Okay.
not all full fleece.
Okay. So
I
some of them are
was-
like comb tops.
Some of
you
them
purchased, right?
were I got one set of a breed study from wool gatherings.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
interesting. So you got like 4 ounces of different
It was
breeds.
1 ounce
1 ounce.
packets.
Mhm.
1 ounce packets of that.
Okay.
And then last year for the holidays, my stepmom Susan gave me another breed study from Sweet Georgia
Oh,
Fibers.
interesting.
And those
Okay.
are longer tubes, I think 2 ounces each of 3 different things in
Oh,
each
fun.
tube. And she got me a bunch of those.
That's nice.
And then I have the fleece I've collected
Mm-hmm.
over the past couple of years now,
Mhm.
or things that people have given me. So
Right.
like Nellie brought me some different fleece just so I could try
Yeah, just try spinning
different
different.
things. Yeah.
Fun.
So it's possible we'll have a couple of squares that have similar fleece, but maybe they've been prepared different ways. Or
And they're
something.
all natural. Or
all
some of them
natural. None
that
of
have
them.
been
I'm
dyed.
not going to dye any of them because
Because they've not already been dyed.
Right.
Yeah.
they're all natural because I wanted to see the natural colors of them and I know we've been talking about this for a long time now, so but when I was originally thinking about these, I was thinking, oh, how am I going to tell all the squares apart, and am I going to number them or put embroidery on them or something? And I saw this woman on TikTok who took these cards, they're 52 different cards, and she was gonna do a different card a week of different
Yeah.
stitch patterns.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, that's perfect because each square will be a unique stitch pattern.
Right.
And then I can keep a little log
Kind of a
that
key.
says, yeah. And then when I stitch them all together, I could have a visual log that
Yeah.
says, okay, this is
That's a great
square
idea.
number 1, 2. Yeah.
Plus, it's kind of fun doing stitch, using cards and doing different stitches. I've done that before. Oh, I was doing a one-off baby blanket once, and I was like, oh, I couldn't decide which kind of stitch pattern to use, so I just swatched a
Did
bunch of
different
them.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fun.
it's fun too. And then you can kind of see how different patterns do things differently to the size, like cables pull in.
Right,
and,
exactly.
and kind of be reminded about how different stitches affect your
Yeah.
final object. So, yeah, so those are my final objects.
Well, your
finished.
final
Finished objects.
finished.
These are not final objects. They're finished squares that will then become a different finished object at the end of the year
Right.
or so.
We talked about how spinning counts twice. Now you're making spinning count 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
Notice what's happening.
I like that. It makes me feel very productive.
Good. Good.
All right. How about for you? What other finished objects?
Well, speaking of
See
very
some
productive,
fun things.
I have had a very productive month. I kind of went through a month where I was working on a lot of different things and not finishing very much. And so now I'm in the opposite phase where a bunch of these projects finally got finished.
Okay.
So I do have a number of things. I have the Alpine Bloom. I call it my blooming onions tea.
Love it.
So this is the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter, and it's the one that I dyed with my 2024 yellow onion skins. And we have a little video about that and using copper to kind of tone it down, but I really like it. And I was thinking, oh, I'm finishing this in May. This is dumb because I'm not going to wear it now. It's made with pure merino fingering. So especially where the color work is, it's a little bit heavier.
It's 2 layers.
It's 2 layers, yeah. But we've had a number of days where it's like been in the high 50s or low 60s, and it was perfect. So I could wear it with a little jacket.
Yeah. Or like tomorrow, it'll be in the 70s later, but in the morning it'll be 50.
Exactly. So I am getting to wear it a little bit. Right. So I really like that. I probably would have made 3/4 length sleeves, but I only had 2 skeins of the yellow and I didn't have enough. Okay. And I did a little different thing at the bottom. I did a little corrugated ribbing to have the white and the gold together.
I like that.
So I'm very happy with that. I love it. It's the pure merino fingering is really nice to knit with. It is so soft.
Yeah, I
just
love
feels
it.
so good.
I'd love to have a summer top out of it. I would like to do that.
Yeah, something that had a little bit of a more drapey, looser knit.
Yeah, or maybe some stripes so it wouldn't be if stranded color work, it would only be 1 layer instead of 2.
Right.
I've been thinking about a t-shirt. Maybe it'd be more, instead of summer, a spring, fall t-shirt kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
And then I have a way back
UFO.
UFO. You had said one of your goals was to finish some UFOs, and I thought
we won't talk about how that goal.
Well, that's okay. You've set other goals, and that's fine.
That's true.
But then I thought, oh yeah, I have a few UFOs. Some I know I don't have any interest right now in picking up. Like I have a sock. I'm like, well, no, not happening. And then I thought, oh, but I have this top that I always really liked. And I can't really remember. I told you I thought I screwed up the yoke. I don't actually think that's the issue. I don't know why I stopped. It may have been that I lost count of where I was and that bothered me. And so then I just stopped. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
But it doesn't really matter because it's got more of a fitted body, but it's ribbed. And so it's fine.
Yeah.
I just picked back up and it was done about to here. And so then I finished and did the sleeves. So this is called Pull Me Over. And it is a really nice pattern. It's shown with a short sleeve, but you can do a long sleeve as well. You can also, instead of doing rib sleeves, you can do a stockinette sleeve. There's instructions for that if you'd rather do that.
That's fun.
But I really like it, and I'm so glad I finished it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's in a yarn that is now discontinued because I did start it in 2014, 11 years ago. But it's a nice Louisa Harding yarn that is 40% alpaca, 40% merino, 20% silk. So it is a nice fiber. It's a little, it's got good structure, but it's soft and a little bit drapey.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wore this one to work also because it's been cool. And so, yeah, I got to wear both of them. So that one is done.
Congratulations. That is really awesome.
I know.
Take something that has been sitting around so long.
I know, it moved houses, yeah. And it's, it's a good reminder that when you buy nice yarn, like it lasts. Like that yarn was fine. I didn't do anything to it. I didn't wash it. I didn't do anything. I just picked it up and started knitting again after 11 years. So it's nice. When you buy a nice quality yarn, it will last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that is done. I did a couple little things. I brought one of these to show.
Oh.
I've made these before for babies. They make a nice little, like, go along with a baby gift.
How cute.
It's called a blanket buddy. It's supposed to be just, this is just made with like Bernat cotton.
Okay.
So that's kind of fun. And I used some of our fiber that got too squashed to stuff the little head with.
Yeah.
And that pattern is, I think you can find it on Ravelry, but it is really only in this book of One Skein Wonders.
Okay.
So that's where that pattern is, if you're interested in that. And then I did one other thing.
You have another finished object?
I do.
Oh my God.
Another one of my goals, because I finished the Pull Me Over top, and then I was like, what should I do? Well, I've had a goal of wanting to learn brioche.
Oh yeah, I remember you were working on.
Yes, and so I made a brioche cowl.
And it's done?
Yeah, because it's small.
Okay, but still. Oh, how cute.
It's still a little bit wet because I had to take it from the blocking board.
Oh, from the blocking board. Oh, that is beautiful.
But I really had fun with it. It is called Valen, is the name of the pattern.
Okay.
And it's by Marlene Berghout. So it has a little garter section at the top and bottom in the solid color and a little bit of brioche in solid color before it goes to the 2-color. So it is a nice one for learning because you practice in the 1-color for a few rounds and then you go to 2-color.
Yeah.
And I used some Malabrigo Arroyo that I had in my stash. That's the multicolor. And then the solid is our, we had a walnut Explore skein that was walnut and
MCN
DK. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That turned out beautifully.
I really like it. And they kind of show it, you can wear it kind of like folded down. It just looks, the contrast of the colors, I think, having a nice solid in both looks good.
I like that. And then on this side, you switch, right?
Well, it's 2-color brioche, so you've got the opposite on the other side.
Yeah.
And then coming up, so you go about 2/3 of the way with 1 color as your knit and the other is the purl, and then you switch it.
Yeah.
So here where you can see these knit ribs go from being
I love that.
the variegated to the solid.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah. So I got that done too, and I really like it.
Yeah. Now, how did you like the process of knitting brioche?
I liked it. I thought it was fine. It was not, you have done double knitting. So there are some elements, that are a little bit like that. And the like yarn over part, it was okay.
Yeah.
I will say the place where I joined don't look quite as nice. And one of our friends sent me a video, but I was already mostly done with it, about like ways to make the join part look better. So that I will work on next time that I try something to make it more uniform. But I liked it. I felt like and I love how the brioche patterns look.
I do too.
And like, I think way back when 20 years ago or more, when I started knitting, I favorited some patterns that were brioche, and I knew like, oh gosh, this seems hard. I'm not going to try this now. But like leaves, where there are pretty patterns. So I feel like, okay, next I'll try a pattern maybe that has some increasing and decreasing to see how I like that in the brioche.
Yeah.
I know everyone says it's a pain to fix mistakes in brioche, and so the same friend sent me a Stephen West video about fixing mistakes. She felt like that was helpful.
Oh, good.
So I'm willing to try another sort of level up, I guess. Yeah.
That's nice.
I see the brioche shawls, and I don't think I would want a whole shawl in brioche. Like, it would be good if it was super cold because they're so warm.
They are warm and
squishy.
Yeah. I like that there is a thickness to them.
So I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a great cowl to like keep with the dog walking things. It's all about the dog walking. I made the hoodola, now I've got this. So when it's cold, you can have something, and it's kind of close to your neck so it won't drape too much and your neck won't get cold. So I really like it. I feel like that's another sort of gift thing that I would make for people because it's kind of nice and the colors look good, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had fun.
Very neat.
That is the last thing that I have.
Okay.
I don't have anything else that I've made.
You have been very productive.
It was a big month for finishing things.
Yeah.
And the other thing about it is my UFO was partly done.
True.
Right. And the other things are kind of small.
Yeah.
Like this went pretty fast. So
Yeah.
once again. This was a great work project too, because I could be on a meeting and be knitting. Like, it doesn't really matter if you put the special stitch in or not, it's going to be fine. So if you need, it's good for that type of knitting too, where you're having to pay attention to something else or movie knitting.
Yeah. So you don't have to be.
And
you're not counting or
right.
anything. Yeah.
We already have a variations on It's a Spring Fling, and we're going to add the instructions for this, just so if you want to try something different or you want to do it with minis, you can.
Yeah. And if you're not at the festival to pick one up, you can drop us a line. Yeah. Email us and we can send you one because it is a free pattern. So we're just adding a little information on how you might do it with the drop
different
stitches.
variations. Yeah.
Great. I guess while you've been busy knitting, I have been dyeing a lot of things.
You have been, and so this is sort of the dye pots have been, they've been busy.
They've been busy. So one thing I thought it would be fun to talk about is a new special colorway.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about when we go to festivals, sometimes people do a special colorway of the festival. And we did that last year in Bloomington for the fall festival. And around the time we were working with our Saxon colors, that
Saxon Blue,
I started messing around with copper, logwood, weld, and fustic, and made our rainforest color. And I thought it would be fun to do this across multiple bases. So
we had done it with just a couple bases before.
Yeah, I think just one, maybe flaxen. No, we had it
on MCN.
We had it on MCN. So we've done it on 2 bases. So I did it across fiber and pure merino, flaxen, so that's alpaca, linen, silk. This one is Cormo alpaca, that's our new one.
Surrey
silk, so that's alpaca.
And merino cashmere nylon.
Yeah, so that's a superwash. So I think it's fun to see the different shades of blues and greens that the very same recipe gives you on different bases. So that's fun. This is our rainforest colorway. So I was excited to have that.
I love that colorway. I think
Yeah.
it's really, I don't know. Well, I'm a blue and green person, but
I
I
know.
think it's really nice.
So this may be going too far into the weeds, but we did name our trailer James Trailer.
That is true.
And I kept thinking about deep greens and blues are
Oh,
the
right.
colors I choose. And so I
Yes.
wanted to have a James Taylor kind of vibe going too.
Right.
And so these are deep greens and blues.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, and look at all the colors on this.
Yeah, that
fiber.
and that has bamboo in it, and so that part gets really shiny.
Yeah, merino bamboo silk.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun.
That's nice.
So that's one thing in the dye pots. The other thing in the dye pots. So last month we talked about Saxon Blue, and we showed a little experiment that we did where we were comparing the liquid form of indigo that is extracted in a way that can be used more like a dye without having a vat, and how it made these beautiful robin's egg colors. And I was kind of comparing it to the logwood plus copper that also gives us blues. These blues come from the copper and logwood. So we wanted to do lightfast testing. And so we make these little cards and we put the yarn on there, and we had different bases that we used. And then I labeled the date, put it in the window, and cover half of it. So this is the lightfast test for the Saxon Blues. And you can see the parts that were covered are darker. So there is quite a bit of color loss.
Yeah, you can see it when you move it closer.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of color loss with the Saxon Blue. This is 5% weight of fiber. This is on Surrey silk, so this is alpaca. And the part that was in the sun is almost white, like there's almost no color. And then this one also has alpaca in it. This is our Cormo alpaca blend, and it's almost white. So these, I would say, I would not use it on alpaca. We're only one group of people doing this test, but from this, I would not use it on alpaca. This is on pure merino. It still has color left, but it is pretty different. And I don't know, is that acceptable color loss or not to people? And then this is the MCN merino cashmere nylon. This is superwash. So it stays a little darker. You can still see a difference, but it's a little darker.
Yeah. And of course, we don't know if there are any other mordanting techniques or ways that we could do it to perhaps make it a little more color fast. We haven't tried anything like that. This was just a standard alum mordant, and then dyeing in the Saxon Blue.
Right, and putting it in the window. But there are things like you mentioned, different mordanting techniques. Sometimes people layer mordant, dye, mordant, dye.
And that can help.
That might help.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So one thing that I wondered, would people be, I guess most of us don't put our knits or crocheted objects in a window for a month.
Right.
To have that direct fading. So it would be unlikely that you would fade that much, maybe. But is this an acceptable amount? Like, would people still want yarn that could fade this much on the superwash?
Yeah. Let us know
what you think. Is this blue enough afterwards? Yeah. But
And
I
then-
definitely wouldn't use the 2
And you did
alpacas.
some over dyeing too, because another thing, logwood is also something that fades on its own, and so
Right.
we always use it with copper. And we learned that combining dyes, especially dyes that have tannins or additional lightfast properties, can also help the logwood colors not fade so much. And so you did some of that
Right.
with the Saxon also.
So I did that test. The top was the original thing we did last month, where we had the cochineal, fustic, and weld with copper. This part was in the sun and this part was covered. It's not really that much different.
Yeah, the fading seemed to be much less.
Yeah. But you can see still how that copper has more of the purples, whereas the Saxon kept more of the pink and yellow instead of going purple green. But it didn't seem to fade as much. I'll show a photo from the photo booth
In the light.
in the light box. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Fun.
interesting. Yeah. So with the over dyes, might be more okay.
Yeah.
Alpaca, we won't be using it on
Avoid.
alpaca.
And we found that before when we did a custom dye job for our friend at Pause for Humanity. Beth, we learned that the alpaca did not take, that was 100% alpaca. And it did not take the dyes as much in some cases as the wool did.
Right.
So there are differences from fiber to fiber for sure.
Yeah.
And we have been busy in the dye garden.
Yes.
You probably saw, and I think we put a video tour on a week or 10 days ago. So you can check that out. It's on our Instagram. And I don't know, have we put
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube also.
Too.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted it. It's a small video, mid-May.
Yeah.
Time warp, mid-May update for the garden.
So we transplanted some indigo and we have weld growing in 2 beds, and we're finally getting our marigold in today. We haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And the
plant it after
coreopsis
this.
is coming up.
Yeah, the coreopsis is back, and
Yeah, so we should
it's
be
looking
in
pretty good.
good shape. We'll have double the amount of fresh indigo, double the amount of weld, still 1 bed of marigold, 1 of coreopsis. And I have coreopsis and marigold at my garden at home as well. So I will harvest there too. So we kind of get a little extra boost there.
Yeah.
Well, what are you working on?
So yeah,
On
the
your
last
needles.
segment. What's on our needles? Okay, this
Surprise! You'll never guess what Michelle's working on.
it's a kimono cardigan. Okay. Oh, and I'm in the middle of the row. Okay. This, I finally decided on the colors. We've talked about this on prior shows. I'm starting the top.
Here, I'll hold it up for you.
Okay.
Oh, it's so soft.
So the main base color is Knitting for Olive Silk in this orange color. I'll try to look up the name of it, the colorway. Okay. And I paired that with sort of a variegated, I think it's Summer Sunset, a Summer Sunset variegated Surrey alpaca silk. So that's the top part. And I thought I would fade it. So I'll keep the same base color, but I'm going to fade it into more of a pinky and then a dark pink.
Nice.
So that the bottom will be this rich.
It'll just get a little darker as you go down.
As you go down, yeah.
Nice.
So that's it. So
I can't wait to see how that
fun.
turns out.
Yeah.
I really like the 3 color version. I think it's really fun.
yeah, I do too. I think this is going to be great. And I had a little problem. I started it and thought I knew what I was doing because it's my 3rd time, and then it turns out that I didn't pay enough attention to the directions. And I got to the part where I was starting the armholes, and I was like, those shoulders are really sloped. That is not how this looked. And I got really confused and I went back and I figured it out. I wasn't increasing the right way. I should have been increasing on both sides and not just one side. So that's a good reminder that even if you think you know the pattern, check it closely again.
Right. That is a good reminder.
Yeah. But I don't mind reknitting it because it's so light and fluffy and fun to knit.
And we had someone ask us about doing a knit along for the kimono cardigan.
Yes, and we would love to do that.
I think that would be fun. If you think it would be fun and you'd be interested, please message us and let us know, because we'll be trying to figure out if we're going to do that this summer. Probably virtual, so you don't have to be here.
Right.
We did one before last year with a lace weight yarn, gossamer, and we had a couple of meetings at the studio, but we also joined via Zoom. So people that were remote could join in as well.
Yeah. So we definitely are going to do it.
Oh, okay.
Would
you really want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I really do want to do it. And because someone asked, I know there's at least one of you out there who really wants to do a kimono cardigan. And other people, we were on a different Zoom call with a group that said they might be interested. And so we'll start getting that together. And I do think the summer is nice to do it because it is a lightweight cardigan that can be used all year long. So I think that'll be fun.
Oh, fun. Yeah. So I'll get to join the knit along and make my own.
And make your own, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do a 3-color version.
Okay,
but
I was going to say,
colors.
Do you know what color?
I don't know what colors, but I like the 3-color, so I think I'll probably do that.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
All right. Well, you guys let us know.
Yes.
If you're interested in joining. And we'll put out more information in June about it.
Right.
So.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Oh.
And are you working on anything else?
Yeah. My other thing is the Grid Gambit.
Oh, right.
By Samantha Guerin. And this is it's a cowl, and this is with some of my hand spun, as well as, it rolled.
I really think the choice between the brown and the blue for the solid, you might have remembered that. Michelle was asking us about that. Yeah. And even though your hand spun has both brownish orange and blue in it, I really think the blue tone really pulls out those kind of greens and even the purples. I really like that.
I like it too.
That's really beautiful.
It's looking nice.
Yeah.
So this is flaxen, alpaca, linen, silk. So it has much more drape. This is a yak merino silk.
So some drapiness.
Some drapiness, but a little fluff from the merino. So I think together it makes a nice texture.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that is fun.
Yeah, that is really fun. Another bandana cowl.
Yeah. I love the shape of the bandana cowls. They're just so easy to wear.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's it, except for my
spinning
that I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about for you?
I am doing I started a small project yesterday.
You started that yesterday?
I did start it yesterday. We've been watching a lot of basketball. The Indiana Pacers, are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Go Pacers. And then we watched the Indiana Fever, the women's team, WNBA team. And I have a couple of small projects kind of set aside. Like I have the yarn and I know what pattern I want to use, which is useful because then if I'm in between, I can pick something up, or if I need something small or simple, because I'm going to do it at work. I have, projects like that. So this was one of those ideas. I did a Musselburgh hat.
Yes.
Back when all of the stuff started going on at the federal government and I could only knit stockinette, I did a Musselburgh hat. And I used I used this yarn, which is a verb for keeping warm. This is their nibble base, which is a all California wool from sheep that eat brush and reduce fire risk. This is called Marine Layer, is their colorway, kind of blue and gray and orange for the Golden Gate Bridge. And then they also had I think it was called Bay Sailor, like a light blue nibble. And those are the two that I used for the hat. And I bought an extra skein of Marine Layer thinking I might do fingerless mitts. And then I decided I did want to do fingerless mitts, but I didn't have enough of the blue. So I used our own, just a merino cashmere nylon mini to make a little blue cuff. And then I think this is a fingerless mitt. It's called Fantastic Fingerless Mitts. And it's stockinette like the hat, so it'll kind of match. And then it has ribbing at the end for the fingers. And I think maybe I'll just do a little blue line on the end of that ribbing. So it'll have a blue cuff and a little tiny blue, maybe 3 or 4 rows on the end of the, and I want to make the ribbing a little longer so I can fold it back or fold it down. The nibble skeins are 50-gram skeins, which is enough to do this pattern all, if you were just doing the pattern as is. But since I want to make the ribbing at the end a little longer, I thought, well, I'm probably going to need something extra. And I wanted it to match the hat, which has the blue. So I decided to do the blue.
Nice.
With it. So yeah, it's really fun. I am almost at the end of the thumb gusset part. So really simple pattern. It's a free pattern too. It's very nice. So I'm doing that right now and thinking about what is my next sort of big. I like to have a bigger project and some smaller projects. Maybe it'll be the kimono cardigan.
Yeah.
If we get that knit-along started
soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, we love to know what you're working on. So please share with us. I've had a lot of fun recently using Ravelry more to like message friends. I didn't do that for a long time.
Yeah, I don't use it as kind of a social media zone, but
like, well, I got messages about the brioche and tips about which video to use.
Oh, that came through your Ravelry.
Yes, it came through Ravelry. And Christy, one of our friends, was like, oh, I love the brioche. You've done it. Good job. It's just kind of fun.
Oh, neat.
You can see when your friends are finishing things or when they're starting things, even what they like. So now I am checking that more. So if you are on Ravelry and you want to friend us, you can please do that. I am Linda Bird on Ravelry.
Right. And I'm MP Sallier. And those are in our description of the videos.
Right.
So
you can friend us there. It's a good way to share what we're doing or show what's on your needles, or ask questions or just say, yay, good job.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks for joining us today. And we hope that you create, connect, and celebrate community. And have a wonderful week. Bye. I guess have a wonderful month. Because we only do this once a month.
That's
once
true.
a month. Okay. And have a wonderful month. Bye.
Bye.